supposed to
Yeah.
work. Okay. Well,
It's
we're live
supposed to work.
now because we
Hello,
have to
world.
be. Corolla was
Yes.
regaling me on the fact that her doctor has decided to treat her severe allergies with allergens.
Yep. Having
And
a grand
actually,
old time.
like,
I might die.
it does work though for some people. Like, I can't treat my allergy to peanuts with peanuts, I'll die. But, like,
No,
yeah, that
exactly.
actually, like, makes sense. It feels weird, but it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, she says that it has like a really good effect on a lot of people. Like some of the
Yeah.
patients are barely reacting anymore during pollen season. So I'm hopeful. But in the meantime, I'm suffering and it's awful. So my apologies to all of you listeners. I know how congested I am. I'm sorry. I'll try to make sense. I
You
am
don't.
dying. I'm quite literally dying.
I just,
I don't
like,
want.
I'm such like a 90s semi that I've just like stopped talking about my health stuff to the extent that like I've been like actually sick and like coughing up blood and telling people not to worry about me.
Calm down over there, 80 Yuki.
Like
Like,
I got pneumonia earlier this year and told no one and was just like bedridden and by myself for like months,
oh my god.
which I
You
don't
need
recommend.
help.
Yeah, I
No,
didn't.
you need semitherapy. Like,
I'm
just
in that.
go to your little group with, like 80 and
We have a group. There's a group chat.
yeah. Can you imagine like the
No.
group therapy of 97s just
Oh my. I feel like
and they
each
would
session would be
they
very short.
yeah, and like they wouldn't even talk. Like they'd sit there glaring at each other like
Yeah, because you can't put that many semis in a room that all kill each other. They wouldn't. They wouldn't be
yeah, like especially
friends.
like some of them. Can you imagine like, like Ias on Mink? Like he's gonna kill everyone there. Like
It's like you can't
bring
put a bunch of like '90s semis in a room together. They're just. It's gonna turn into like Squid Game, and they're just gonna try to.
yeah.
They're just gonna
I
try to
feel like
eradicate each other.
it would just implode. Like the whole world would just like
Absolutely, like
implode.
there'd be too much going
Oh
on.
my god.
So hello, welcome, happy to have you all. It is relatively early on a Sunday, which feels weird. It's noon. I had to check what time it is because I'm tired for some reason. But it is noon, and we're here to talk about Gravitation, which, as you guys probably by now know, is indeed uh, our favorite show.
Yes, welcome back to the gravitation shelf where
Yeah,
we talk about gravitation.
we're not talking about My Hero Academia for once,
What well,
even though it's usually somehow my fault because I have a complex relationship
yeah,
with the
it
series.
actually it usually is. It usually starts with you saying that you don't like it or whatever, and then we just talk about it for like
I
15
think I've
minutes.
given up on I don't like it. I think I don't like it in its current form.
Fair, fair,
If it was just
fair.
like Cheers with the League of Villains, where it's just like villains in their bar doing villain stuff, like it's the best show on earth. Or if it's Scandal with like the Hero Commission, where it's just like fixers and stuff, like we have to go handle this thing because Endeavor burned down a building full of children. We have to go.
That would
We have to go
actually
take. Would that not? Would he? Would he not?
that would be really funny actually.
Right. Like, can I? I would just love like an Olivia Pope
I mean,
scandal.
the man is on fire.
The man is
Like
indeed on
put
fire.
a coin in your little yeah, put a coin in your little tip jar whenever I say that the man is on fire because I feel like I've said that a lot.
I mean, like it's just it's an observation. So this is the time where you guys get to ask us questions, comment on the show if there was a point that you think we missed, if there was something that you want us to elucidate on, any of those brilliant things. Now you may do so. Otherwise, it's just going to be Corolla and I talking about hot takes. And some of you like that. I've
I
been
mean,
told. Some of you like that, if our listener
I
statistics are apparent.
I like
Yes,
that they like that.
I do too. I do like that they
I
like that.
feel incredibly validated when they're like, yeah, like when we just sit around and we're just like, you know,
Weird nerds together.
yeah, and like screaming,
We have
and then
not.
people are like, oh, I enjoy listening to this while I'm at work.
Oh my gosh, we love you too. I had a very nice Thanksgiving at the local Cracker Barrel.
I can't even comment on that because I don't even know what a Cracker Barrel is.
Oh my
So
god, you don't know what a Cracker Barrel is. Okay. Um you know a lot
no,
about American culture. Like you know a lot of like American pop culture, right?
yeah,
Just
I mean,
I am trying. Okay. So you know what an IHOP is, right?
yeah,
Okay. So it's
yep.
like an IHOP but racist.
And you went there because what?
So it's like an IHOP but it's like country southern themed. So
Oh
like
my
all of the
god.
decor is like someone's fucking basic ass barn house. The food is actually like not bad. It's like southern food, which is why I went there. But like all the decor is like old, like vintage photos of mostly white people and like rusted out tin signs. And it feels like you've gone back in time. It feels like
Wow.
I shouldn't be addressed by name there.
Oh my
And
god.
I will say the only racist experiences I've had at Cracker Barrel. Thank you. Perfect description.
Oh my god.
It's like an IHOP but racist. I mean,
Oh
it's
my god.
delicious. That's why I go. But like the only time I ever had an issue there was a lady tried to colonize my table.
But I
Like
mean
I
it sounds perfectly like within the theme, I guess.
yeah, like I was sitting by myself and this lady just like put her dirty dishes on like the empty place setting on my table. And I called my waitress and I said, I think I've been colonized. And she's like, I will take care of this immediately. Got the manager. Manager told off the lady. He's like, your meal is free. You shouldn't have to deal with this. It's like, thank you. It's like, I wasn't
Oh,
going to
that's
fight this
nice.
lady. Yeah, like, I haven't had any negative experiences there except for the one in Virginia. And all the Americans will like know immediately. My family set ourselves up for failure by going to Cracker Barrel in Virginia. I think actually
Okay.
fuck, had we even made it to Virginia, we might have been in Tennessee still. We were not in where we are the majority, is what I'll say.
Yeah, I got that much. I'm bad at geography, but
I mean, clearly
yeah.
Americans are too. I don't think we could find Norway on a map.
Is it true that American world history is actually American history? Like you don't learn
Yeah.
about the outside. Oh my god.
Yeah, we don't talk about y'all.
Why is it called world history then? I've
Because
always
it's the
been
world from
confused.
America.
Okay.
So, like, we talk about the world, like the parts that we invaded and stuff.
Ah,
Basically, if it didn't involve us, we don't talk about it. I'm
yeah.
going to assume the yes truths are everything just said. Like, we talk about the world. We do learn a horrifying amount about World War II.
But we did too though. But I mean, we were uh occupied, so I guess it makes sense. I mean,
Yeah, but like we don't really talk about World War II like it was a thing that happened. We talk about like Pearl Harbor and then Hiroshima
yeah.
and Nagasaki. And
Yeah,
then
I
like
figured.
we'll usually say like Hitler was bad. We'll say that like once.
Okay, good. At the very
Well,
least.
no, one school in South Lake, which is in my home state,
Oh no,
said
I
if
read
we're
about
going,
this.
huh? You read
I
about
think
it?
I've read about this. Yeah.
That if we're going to have books on how the Holocaust was bad, we have to read books about with opposing views. It's like we have to what?
So like Mein Kampf. Uh
Como se
no.
dice?
No.
What?
Oh my god.
You want us to read the Turner Diaries? Like what are you talking about? Like what is the opposing view? So
I
that
mean,
was
if
that was Texas.
to be fair though, like if you want to read the opposing view, just go onto any comment section on Facebook. There you go. That's the opposing view.
I don't think
There you
any
have it.
comment section on Facebook is actually that literate that they think that the Holocaust was good. They mostly just don't think it existed.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I okay.
I
I remember that. So there was like an entire period of the History Channel when it stopped being about like history and it was just about World War II.
But that makes so much sense. Like I come from a family where like my dad and my granddad and everyone were like
Mhm.
really interested in war, like
Mhm.
particularly World War II documentaries. So I have it in my
Yeah.
blood, and I'm like this huge nerd. And when I was much younger, like I was a child, I was going around telling my mom like, "Oh, I love World War II." I mean, what I meant was I love learning about World War II. It didn't come out that way, and she was like, "Please stop saying that. That is
So I'm going to tell
awful."
you a string of words that I think only make sense in the context of knowing me. Are you ready for this?
I am ready.
After my father's wake, I locked one of my younger cousins in a dog kennel, and when asked about why, I told my mother that we were playing World War II and I was Germany and she was Italy.
Oh wow. What, like, mandatory question, was this before or after the Hetalia phase?
This was before I was 12. Italia didn't
Okay.
exist.
No, I'm just checking. I'm like,
The Italia phase was always going to happen. This was before.
yeah. I can see that though.
That's the problem is when I tell that story,
Okay.
people are like,
Wow.
that checks.
That's
Let's
okay.
see, try to teach history. Check on how the black people were doing. Probably not good, TBH. Probably not great
What does
for
that
most
even
of
mean?
history.
Like, oh my god.
Well, because like we've been oppressed for a really
Okay.
long time, like especially in the U.S. Like we weren't full citizens until like 1865, and didn't have all of
Yeah.
our rights until like the 1950s, 1960s. Like there, it's a lot. We're not talking about gravitation. Hello, welcome to the Yowie
No.
Shelf, where we also talk about history sometimes. Because I almost was a historian, but I wanted to be employable. So we had a
I'm
lot of
now a
fun
historian.
covering gravitation, obviously. Corilla is wearing our
Yeah.
shirt from Romance is a Book. Thank you for the box. We love it.
Thank you so much. We
Uh,
love it.
yes, we love working with people. Speaking of, I can't release anything just yet, but we have a very stacked like winter coming up.
Yeah.
This winter
It's so
is
exciting.
hello. Uh,
Hello.
Try like never winning a game, but being so called a little better each time. Yeah, that's the black experience in America. We're just doing a little better
Wow.
each time. Uh, we had a
The
lovely time.
bare minimum.
It's not because of anything that we're doing. We're trying really hard. Just people keep killing us, mostly cops. ACAB. Anyways, we yes.
Yeah, no, what?
Oh, thank you for letting me have that.
What are you
Tangent.
gonna do? Deny it? Like,
I wish you would. I had a friend, she was talking about doing jury duty. And I said, I've never been selected for jury duty. And I wonder if it's because they keep just going outside and yelling ACAB.
you
Maybe
think
that's
they're like
why.
stalking you? It's the FBI agent again. They're watching you, you know?
Yeah, they're watching. And it's like, I keep saying ACAB very loudly. That might be why I don't get selected for jury duty.
But isn't that a plus though? Isn't I remember like as a child, I was actually horrified of jury duty. I
The
was like, I don't
the
want to
only
do
thing I
that.
know about jury duty is from Law and Order SVU. So it never seemed
I
like a
just
positive experience.
I just remember it from like, you know, like literally every single like sitcom I watched growing up, you know, and it was always American,
Yeah.
and they were always like, "Oh, I have jury duty," and they were always trying to get out of it, and I was like, "Is it
Yeah, like
really important?"
it never sounded fun, but it sounded like something that, that we do. Uh but back to episode, I will say that we got a comment. It was really, really long, so I'm going to try to summate it a little bit. That basically said, that really liked the show, and by the end of it, the commenter was like, "I'm not sure if I want to watch this or not." And it's like, I think then that we've done a good job. Like, if you've listened to us for 2 hours and you're
Good
still
on
on the
you. Like,
fence, yeah.
wow.
First of all, y'all, 2 fucking hours. I'm impressed, and no one's complained. Thank y'all. Y'all the
Thank
goat.
you. Like what?
2 fucking hours. But then, like, I really appreciate that vulnerability to say, like, you guys said a lot of things that I think are problematic and bad, but you also said a lot of things that I think are intriguing. I think that's success for me. Like, obviously,
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah.
say watch it, but I'm also not gonna be mad if, like, someone were to come to us respectfully and be like, this isn't my thing. It was so many people's introduction to BL, and I think that that's a
Yeah.
blessing and a curse now. Because if anything, I
Yeah,
will
I think
say, yes,
no, just go on. Just
I think it sets the bar almost too high.
I mean, to be fair though, because a lot of that, and I mean, I keep saying this, but you know, we're not exactly spoiled when it comes to good BL animation. Like
No.
they will, you know, they'll give you, you know, 2 episode OVAs, or you know, everything
Mm-hmm.
is just non-con, or you know, and then there's Gravitation, and it's just such a great concept and such a good
Mm-hmm.
story, and I mean, we're doing a lot better today. Like we're getting all of these like good long shows, but
Mm-hmm.
Gravitation really was completely different, and I just it was one of my first as well, and it just left me so hungry for more and
No.
nothing. Yeah, exactly. And then you
No.
see that afterwards.
No. What were we doing in the 2000s? Just what were we doing?
Okay, listen, we were suffering and and trying to survive off of scraps.
We
It's
were.
kind of like you have you ever watched Married with Children? I mean, probably. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I'm an
you know how
yes.
Bud and Kelly, they say that yeah, they were raised on toaster crumbs. That's us.
Mm-hmm.
We were raised on the toaster crumbs of BL. That's that's what we were doing. But
Gravitation is
yes,
a
it
law of
is.
the universe. I
It is.
It is. My Twitter is always very surprised when I try to look up gifs of gravitation and I want the boys kissing, not space.
Yeah, I know. There's so much space. I'm like,
There's so much space. I mean,
I
I guess
would.
like part of me is glad.
Or it's like when, you know, sometimes I have done this so many times, especially, you know, in preparing for these episodes, and
Hmm.
I go on Google and I literally think that everyone thinks the same way as me. So I just put in gravitation, and I am shocked every single time that
That
it's just
space is
like
the first thing that comes
yeah,
up.
like space and then the law of gravity, and I'm like, excuse me, this is not what
Yeah,
I'm looking
like
for here.
no, I did the same thing because like I'll sometimes I'll be looking for things and it's like I mean the fictional character or not the person. Even though right
Yeah.
now my desktop has me fucking pegged where it's like, is Amanda searching for something? It's probably ER. That 90s
Well,
medical show that no one else cares about the way that I do.
I never watched ER, but then of course I have like issues with medical shows for obvious reasons.
I started
Um,
watching ER when I was a kid with my parents. Both my parents were still alive, so that's how long ago this was. I started watching ER with my parents. And I don't think that series ended until like I want to say it was like like the 20 teens or something.
yeah, I think so. I think it was on for so long.
It was on for so fucking long. Hello. Hello, friend. Uh,
Hello.
it was on for so fucking long. And it had some of the wildest fucking plot lines. Just the because it'd been on forever, so it had to keep shocking you and shocking you and shocking you, and it just had some of the wildest fucking plot lines. There is a guy who gets his arm cut off by a helicopter, and then when he dies, it's because years later a helicopter falls on him.
Wow.
Yeah,
The helicopters really had it out for him.
yeah.
Had it in for him. Yeah.
The helicopters were seeking revenge. But
Wow.
yeah, we're super appreciative that you guys sat through 2 fucking hours of episode. Um, we did behind the scenes, we did have a small crisis of faith over whether that was too long. Uh, and unlike the past iterations of the show, it was really, really hard to find things that we could have really cut because everything still tied into topic and it wasn't necessarily just superfluous fluff. And there was not really like a good organic place to do a lot of cutting. So thank you all for being willing to tolerate
Yeah, thank
two
you.
fucking hours of us rambling. And you can definitely hear us starting to deteriorate at the end.
I
Just
mean, you were choking, like you were coughing up your
I
lungs
was
at the end.
dying. Oh my god. I'm trying to avoid getting sick again this year. If I would
Please.
prefer very much not to get pneumonia ever again.
There's literally like 5 weeks left of the year, so maybe you can try to stay healthy.
Uh, can I help you? Is there something that I can do for you?
No, I'm just saying, it's not that long.
I
Thank you.
appreciate you. You know what? The manga's a lot.
I love the manga. Please talk
I
to
I
me
don't have
about the
anything
manga,
negative to
okay?
say. Well, no, I do have some negative things to say about the manga.
Yeah, you
I
do.
don't like. I don't. It's like, let's not be too nice. I do have some negative things to say about the manga. The manga is just so much, and like I don't know. I feel like if there was a series that needed to be animated, it was Gravitation. I would. I don't like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, but I would love a Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood cut of this where it's closer to the manga. I would
I
love
just
that.
I just, I really, really love the
Yay.
manga. I mean, I keep saying this, but it's just, and also, yes, thank you. I
We
appreciate
appreciate it.
you.
I can't imagine us as ASMR. I feel like that's very chaotic.
I feel like my voice alone is
No.
the exact opposite of ASMR.
No. You have a
It's
nice
so
voice.
screechy. No,
It's
what the
not
hell?
though. You have a nice
No.
voice. Yes.
And now there's like this screeching sound in my earbud. I hope it's just me, that it's not my mic. But
It's
if
not the
it
mic,
is my
thank God.
mic, I'm sorry.
No, you sound fine. Your Kamaguro looks so plush. He's so cute.
Yes.
He's just
He's been
doing his
sitting there.
best.
He's
He
been
hasn't
sitting there
moved.
since last. He
Has
fell behind the couch at one point, and I felt really bad.
he's just dead behind the sofa.
He's been through a lot, okay? He used to go to, I don't know if I should say this on the internet, on stream, but we used to have like an illegal drive-in that we used to do, and Kumaguro was always with us every time. He was like our mascot. We don't have drive-ins here, okay? So we had to make our own.
That is the most Norwegian fucking crime. Not a
What a
bar, not a drug den, an illegal drive-in theater.
it was it was great. We were like a bunch of people, and we brought like projectors and things, and then we would watch the film and play video games on like the side of a building, and we would like steal their electricity.
Okay, that's a crime. Never mind. That's okay. That's
But
bad.
okay, but it wasn't a building. It was like a store. It was like a
That's worse.
yeah.
That's
But
worse. You,
yeah.
okay,
I'm
never
sorry I
mind.
said that. I'm sorry I said that. It was a long
I don't,
time ago. And I wasn't the instigator, okay? I was just
of
there.
course you were.
I was just bringing Kumaguro. I don't know.
Oh my god. But yeah, I would love to see like a more direct translation of the manga animated out because there's some kooky ass shit in that manga.
I would love. I mean, we know this. I've said this, but like, I just want to see all of those moments. I want to see that growth that I was talking about.
Hmm.
And I want to see Yuki's face, you know? I want to see him show some expressions, you
Yeah,
know?
for sure, for sure. Like
Like,
I think it definitely it lends itself towards being an anime, and I understand the censorship and story choices that were made to suit, let's be honest, a mostly Western audience. Uh, but yeah, the kids just don't understand. They really don't.
yeah. I don't even want to talk about that because
No one does. No one
can I
does.
just because there was just no, it was a dark
No.
time.
I mean, it's true though. Like, even though we do have aunties now, which I still don't understand.
We're gonna get. I mean, yeah, we'll
Yeah, we're
get to
getting.
that.
Don't worry, we're gonna get there. But we definitely we struggled back in the day, and I think like I mentioned this at a panel a while ago. I said when you're a fan back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, obviously this extends to like the 70s and 80s too, but I wasn't born. Um, there was no option to be casual. Like either you didn't like it or you sold your soul.
Yeah.
Like there was no option to just like, well, I'm just gonna watch the big three and like nothing else exists. No, if
No.
you weren't fucking torrenting, if you weren't on LimeWire, if you weren't on like fucking message boards, if you didn't have like three alarms set so you could watch Inuyasha on Toonami at like 3 o'clock in the morning, like there was not an option to be casual. You were invested
Yeah.
because you had to be. Otherwise, you would just miss it. Like if you weren't at fucking Borders or Walden's every week picking up your manga,
Yeah.
you're it. Like that, you're done. There's no way you're
Yeah.
catching back up. That company could go completely under the next day. Oh, Tokyo Pop. Tokyo Pop.
That was a nasty cough.
Yeah, just
No,
right
but
here in
that,
the
but that's
Tokyo
true,
Pop.
and I'm always telling people this, like you know how because obviously, like in Japan, they were
Mm-hmm.
still doing the seasons and you know the 4 seasons of the year and all the series
Mm-hmm.
coming out, but we only saw a fraction of those series,
Absolutely. We saw a
and
fraction of the fraction. Shit.
yeah, and we didn't have we didn't have the accessibility that you have now,
Mm-mm.
like because you have simulpubs, you have simulcasts, and I like to tell this story to people because again, I'm not even in the US. Like we didn't have anything. So when we had to buy, like obviously we also did the torrenting and everything, but like
Mm-hmm.
my first like the first anime series that I really really fell in love with, I had to buy it on DVD, and we would have to go. We went to Outland, which is this comic book store
Mm-hmm.
here, and we went there like on a weekly basis, and we were like, "Do you have the new volume yet?" Because we would have to wait for this 25 episode series to come
Mm-hmm.
out, in discs of 5 episodes, and it took me. I think it took me like 6 years to collect to see the whole series. Like that's what it was. So
Yeah.
we just took whatever we got.
It was hard work and it was expensive.
Yeah.
Also, thank you for your service. Thank
I
you
wasn't
for your
even there, but
service.
thank you.
Yeah, like, fuck, man. I don't even want to talk about how much money I spent at like Walden's and Borders back in the day. Because Barnes and Nobles decided they were too morally pure to sell boys love, but they'd still sell like
uh,
Playboy and shit. They do sell some boys love now, but like definitely not all of it. Uh, go support your local comic book stores. They're usually
yeah,
like
really.
more apt to buying that shit. Like I found Maiden Rose in my local comic book shop before I found it like anywhere else. And I was like, where the fuck did you guys get this? And I'm just like grabbing volumes.
I remember this. This has nothing to do with BL, but I think it's really funny because this is also not really that far back in the day, but far enough back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
This was like maybe 15 years ago or whatever, and we were at this. Um, it is like a record store, but they sell everything.
Mm-hmm.
They have books, they have DVDs. And we were in the cartoon section, and there's still this predominant idea that anything that is animated is for kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So me and my then boyfriend were at the comic aisle, and we're looking through like the box sets, and they have Bible Black, and we were like, first of all, why have they stocked the entire friggin' box set of Bible Black? I am concerned. Also, and he went downstairs to the cashier and he was like, "Excuse me, but you have something in the kids section that I think you might want to move." And it was just because they don't know anything. And I thought that
No,
was
that
so funny because
happens. That happens a lot of that. We have a secondhand reseller here in the US called Half Price Books. That happens to them a lot. Like they have like a case for like their more adult stuff, but especially like, with the yaoi and some of the hentai, they will put like some of the dumbest things behind like the locked case and then have like straight up porn just out for like children. And I've gone and been like, you guys really need to. I'm holding like jazz by the edge of its ragged corner. It's like you guys really probably should put this in there. Like just a heads up. Like not trying to narc on some kids, which I did a lot of when I used to work at Hot Topic. I narked on a bunch of kids.
but you work there, it's fine.
Yeah, like I would get a bunch of like I get like list parents, like they'd come in with like a list of what their kid liked. And it's the one that always got me was this mom came in. It's like, yeah, my 14-year-old really likes mindless self-indulgence. And I'm like 17 listening to mindless self-indulgence and they're still too adult for me. And I said, "Huh, uh your 14-year-old?" She's like, "Yeah." It's like you might want to take a listen to what your child is listening to. And then I think like weeks later, like the kid came and like flipped me off and it's like, "Fight me." Like we're both underage listening to this, but neither of us are right. Um, to address some of the comments that I've seen scroll through, yeah, having a hobby back then, you invested fully. And like, I don't mean to
Yeah.
like besmirch casual fandom. Like, I definitely think there's a place for that. Absolutely. But like, it kind of goes back to that whole like gatekeeping isn't necessarily evil because, yeah, it is frustrating when like more casual fans try to step to older fans.
Yeah.
It's
And
just
and
annoying.
and I think another aspect, at least for me personally, is that
Mm-hmm.
a lot of us, because now I feel like everyone goes through it now. It's like kind of like everyone has an anime face.
Mm-hmm.
But when we were kids, it was like you were the weird one because you like this weird
Yeah,
Japanese animation, and no one else did, and you were like the odd one out. And so I personally kind of get like, you get kind of defensive about it because you fought
totally.
for this. Yeah,
Oh my
you
god, no,
had.
absolutely. So I have that a little bit more with comics, I guess, because like especially like here in the U.S., like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like it really took over, and like everyone, yes,
No, I was just there
oh,
was just a sound, and I was like, "What the hell was that?"
it's like your host has ADHD. It's like what? Um,
No, no,
like with
no. I thought it was Sansa.
but like with the MCU, like everyone and their mom thinks that they're a comic book fan now. And again, like I do think that there is room for casual fandom, but I really like conversations, and it's hard to have that with someone who doesn't understand the universe outside of what the movies have said.
Yeah, yeah, I get it.
Hello, Belgium.
Hello.
Wish I could find Gravitation in the kids section of my local bookstore. Where are you in the kids section? We might be able to arrange something
Probably
if you
because
are of
if
age.
anything cartoon is for kids.
Yeah. Say that again, old man. I'll show you Igarashi.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
again,
but
I'm like I'm
yes.
like I love that because it's like, okay, let me just invite your children over and show them friggin' Tokyo Ghoul, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, show them something better than Tokyo
Shingeki
Ghoul.
no Kyojin.
Show them something better
I
than that
think,
too.
yeah, it's so
Show them
sad about
Elfen
Disney
Lead.
because I really love. Oh my god. I mean, but I don't want to suffer. I, I want. I've done my time. I've seen Elfen Lied. Thank you very
We're
much.
not in Azkaban. Relax.
Oh my
I've done
god.
my waiting. We're not in
I haven't
Azkaban.
done
We're
it.
weebs.
Yeah.
Relax. We chose this. We weren't imprisoned.
Yeah.
We,
No,
no
I
one made
I
us.
didn't choose. No, but that's actually yes. Yes. Thank you.
All
My friggin'
bad influences, all of you. All of you bad
no, but
influences.
like that. This is my entire personality. If you ask me which three, you know that thing it keeps going around, and it's like, post a picture of the three fictional characters you're most alike, and I
Yes.
literally am made up of Shuichi Shindo
Yes.
and Puni Puni Poami and
Yes.
Miyazawa Yukino. Like those, and that is not a great. This is also true.
This is the
This is
only Tokyo
also
Ghoul
true.
take I will ever accept.
I love Tokyo Ghoul, but no, I really think that they did the they did the anime dirty. But I really like the manga. I haven't finished reading it because I am
Hmm.
very slow. But I really like. But I
It
like
didn't.
suffering.
I've noticed it didn't do a lot for me, but I don't think that that's a fault of the series. Like
Yeah.
there are some series that it's like this didn't do anything for me, and I think the series is bad because of it. I think Tokyo Ghoul is just like it didn't do anything for me, but I don't think a lesser of you for liking it.
But I think for me, I was enjoying it up until
Hmm.
the point where they did. I think when they did Rude A, because it was one of the seasons. I don't even know because there are multiple seasons. But when
Hmm.
they decided to just randomly end it the way they did, and then they killed off a major character, and it's like you can't. The manga's still ongoing, and you can't really. What? That was really weird, and that I remember being really upset about that. I liked
Hmm.
the first season, but then also I am very biased because you had Mamoru Miyano voicing the gourmet, and anytime Mamoru Miyano voices an absolute crazy person, I am here for it. Like I'll watch that series. I don't care how bad it is. I'm gonna watch it because he did Raito. He did Tamaki. Your Tamaki, the other Tamaki, and all of these
Do
psychos.
I
I
own him?
love them. No, but because you're always telling me like you used to know Tamaki and it was a different Tamaki, and then I came along, and now it's just anxiety boy.
Parents thought maybe if I was a bad influence, I was the one fighting all the way. Mood and same. Like
Yeah,
for so
same.
many of my parents, for so many like my friends, like to their parents, I was like the good kid because I had like
Yeah,
good
same.
grades and like I came from like a good house and stuff like that. And it's like, nah, I'm the one helping them write out weird gay anime porn.
Yeah, I'm the one introducing them to all of these horrendous
There's so
things.
many shonen statues from series I wasn't super into. Yeah, mood
Yeah.
and relatable. Thank you to a lot of frankly fictional media that it's like I might be bisexual.
Hmm.
Like I can tell you who my first bi panic character was.
Tell me.
It's Sans Serif from The Spirit, the movie. And it was Ava Mendez, but like early 2000s Ava Mendez. Just fuck.
But I think it's so funny because we all have those, and it's like
Yeah, we all do.
yeah, and I keep going back to it like with my girlfriend, and I'm like, we're watching something, right? And then I'll be like, oh yeah, I used to have such a huge crush on her, back when I was straight, and then it's like, yeah, back when you were straight.
Like that checks. That checks. I mean, I guess like the sexual awakening male actor was Ryan Phillippe from Cruel Intentions.
Oh God, yeah, Cruel Intentions.
I fucking love that movie.
I love that movie.
I love that movie so much.
I was I was thinking about it yesterday because I haven't seen it in a while. It's so good. I mean, today, can you
Yay!
imagine? Yay! Welcome.
Cruel Intentions was such a good movie.
I think I might be wrong here because I haven't actually actively gone looking, but I would imagine that there's probably like an ocean of fanfic out there that is inspired by Cruel Intentions,
Oh,
like with like anime,
I mean, Sarah Michelle Gellar and fucking Selma Hayek kiss.
Isn't
Like,
it? No, it's Sarah Michelle Gellar and isn't it?
is it Selma
Because it's
Blair?
Cecile. No, yeah, Selma Blair.
Selma Blair,
Yeah, and
sorry.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh, beautiful. Either way. I know. I'm so glad to have you.
Yay, I'm
Yay.
glad you could make it.
But
Are you skipping work?
okay, back to gay stuff.
Yeah,
Should we go to Headcanon Island?
sure.
You want to go to Headcanon Island? Sounds like a
I don't
very
really have a lot of headcanons, but sure.
too many.
Yeah, I'm sure
Don't
you
worry.
do.
Can I,
No,
ma'am?
no, I'll be over here
Girl,
pretending.
girl is trying to fight today.
We're still in the gravitational space, obviously. I mean, we promised these people a fight.
We didn't really fight because we're respectful and mature. Well, not
Yeah,
really mature. I'm not going to call us
but we're
mature. Not to be
adults,
rude.
okay? Yeah.
Yeah, we're adults, and also like we were forged in fire by being able to explain ourselves on the internet.
That too.
Um,
That too.
Headcanon one, I think that even though Shining Collection is said to be written about Suichi, I think it's about Kitazawa.
Hmm. That, I mean, it could be. But I don't want. I don't want it to be.
I love that
No.
your answer is I
Okay.
don't think you're wrong. It's that I don't want this to be true. I would
Okay,
like
but
to
the
just
thing
take
is,
this moment for a second. Hold on. That you have not
okay.
said, I don't think you're wrong. It's I don't want this to be right.
Okay, but I mean, I can see it as a possibility, and I would, and if it was, I think I would celebrate that because it just means that Yuki is somehow in touch with his feelings,
I think he's very in touch with those
and I want
feelings.
that for him.
Yeah.
But the thing is, for me, when because I saw the OVA after seeing the original series, like after, well,
Mm-hmm.
actually, I say the original. Obviously, the OVA came out first, but I saw it after.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, I'd been running around, like a headless chicken, being obsessed with these two. And I was like, all I want in my life is for, Yuki to. Because at that point, I hadn't read the manga, and I just wanted Yuki to write a song for Shuichi. I wanted him to do the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
And and then and then we saw the OVA, and and it was Shining Collection, and it was about Shuichi, and my heart just friggin' melted, and I just want to hold on to that forever. But
And
but
I
in the
respect
manga,
that.
he but in the manga he does actually write some lyrics that Shuichi then rejects brutally. But
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, but
Let's
yeah, I
see.
mean,
Wow.
do read it, read
Read
it.
it again. Yeah, let us know. Read it again. But no, that has
I'm
always been
here to
something
enable you.
that's always been something I've held really, really close to my chest. That I fundamentally believe that Shining Collection is about Kitazawa, and I think that mental illness made it a lot easier for Yuki to talk to Ryuichi than it probably is for him to talk to other people.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, they're both crazy. There was a weird part of me when I was younger that I really wanted them to fuck, but that didn't. That wouldn't.
I don't. I think if that happened, I feel like Tatsuha would somehow find
We're
superhuman
not going to
strength
talk
and
about
murder
Gravitation
his brother.
EX.
Okay, but listen, because Gravitation EX, I am very confused. I wanted to say something about this because
Oh,
the
are we
thing
finally going
is,
to talk about the time paradox, child?
we can talk about the time paradox child too. But okay, because the thing
What?
is, Gravitation X has been, ruining my life since 2007 because we only, and I have it here, because we only have this one, right?
Yes.
Um, in English. And I was waiting
Yes.
forever. There is no volume 2 because, you had a bit of a cough earlier, and, Tokyo Pop isn't doing very well. Weren't doing. I actually tried emailing them to ask them if, now that you're back, could you maybe could you maybe pick up the rest
Okay,
of the
so I have
series?
been like trying to hunt down an out of print book, and it is terrifying and expensive. So I fully
Yeah.
support your endeavors with this.
But I just want to know if they'll like go back and reprint, like, because in particular, like Gravitation X, because it isn't very long, or some other series that are like missing one volume. Like, could you just
Hmm.
get them out there? But the thing is, um, I am still very uncertain if it actually is ongoing because in Japan, I think there are 3 volumes. I actually own. There are at least 2 volumes. I own the
Yeah,
Japanese
I've
second
seen a
one.
mythical
Yeah.
second volume.
yeah, I own it. And it's like, but what I don't know is if it's actually finished because I think I'm not entirely sure that that book has like because she published all of the chapters online first and then they were collected
Mm-hmm.
into book form. So I don't know if it's actually completed or not because then this
Quiet.
baby came along and this is the sequel
Mm-hmm.
to this is the sequel to Gravitation X. And I'm like, okay, is it actually completed? Also, I love this book. This is adorable. This isn't actually about Yuki and Shuichi. It's about the child and also Kei's child. But Yuki and Shuichi are in it, and it is absolutely adorable, and I love it so so much.
Also, he's
Even
not
though
Baby Yoda. We don't have to refer to him as the child.
I can't.
How's the
What's his
gravitational
name
light
though?
novel? There's
I
two. They're fine.
yeah. I think, and I always wondered about this because I wonder if they are if it is the translation because they're
Mm-hmm.
a bit wonky. They read a little. They're so simple that they actually read kind of like they're a little unsatisfying, but also they're unsatisfying because they do the thing, they do the self censor where it's like, it's building up, there's a hot scene
Yeah.
coming, and then not only do they fade to black, but there's actually, I remember very vividly from one of the novels that they're getting into it and then Shuichi falls asleep and I'm like, who wrote this? This would never happen. Haven't you people read the Dojin? But I don't think
Yeah.
Murakami doesn't write the novels. She just illustrates them, I think.
Yeah.
And they're okay.
If you're in America and you find them at half price, I'm not gonna say don't get them if you're curious, but I wouldn't like hunt them down.
No, I mean they are definitely fun to have in the collection, and the
Mm-hmm.
illustrations are really good. Obviously,
They
because
are.
they're Murakami, but they're not. They're like they're not amazing, but
No.
they're fun.
Yeah.
They're fun to have. I think I've read them like once each, but
That sounds about right. I've read them about once each too. They're fine. Like I said, if you're at half price and you see them and you want to grab them,
yeah,
but they're not life changing. As I try not to die again.
please don't
So, do you want to talk
die.
about the time paradox, child?
I okay. Let's just which time paradox child? This is the X child, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Which is funny when you think about it like that. The X child, yes. Also not the
So,
company.
spoilers for a
Yeah.
series that's over 20 years old.
I think it's I don't even know which one it is. No, it's this one. It's that one. It's just that look at him though. Like he looks like Yuki, but this is Michael. It's very confusing.
Is Kay running around doing impreg affairs?
Mm. Mm. I was yeah. But yeah, that child is very confusing.
Also, can we talk about the nightmare of Kay going around doing impreg affairs?
No, no, because I would like to not. I would like to not think about that at all. Thank you for this contribution to my brain. Oh my god. I was gonna say, I mean, you that wasn't the direction I was going. I was going in, thinking, well, Yuki is supposedly bisexual. Maybe he somehow had an affair with Mrs. Winchester. What do I know? But then, okay, that's another interesting take.
That does sound like a sus name.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Uh, also on that, like, just on a what me? No, but also on that quick note on Murakami, I mean, this is just because I was curious because when we did the app, you said that Murakami had done background animation
I
on
did.
Kyokaro Mao, but I
I
did
did.
look it up and I actually don't think it's her because
Hmm?
there were two separate entries. They're like there's a background animator named Maki Murakami,
Hmm.
but her profile thing doesn't lead to the Maki Murakami.
Oh,
I think they just have the same name, but I definitely see where it's coming from because I mean you would see that and go, "Oh my god." And but I mean I can't say that it isn't true. I'm just saying that I couldn't find anything on it, but it would be really cool
yeah.
if it was though. Like that would
I
be
think
really
it
really
might
fun.
be, but like fair and valid. I appreciate you doing your research.
But I was really curious because I never heard it before, and apparently this is something that people have been talking about for ages, but I've just been living under a rock. So I was like, I just need to know.
You don't live
And
under a rock, you live near the Arctic.
okay, yeah, but
So,
it's
the
just like
Phantom Child.
yeah, yes,
So, at the end
the Phantom
of.
Child.
So, at the end of the series, we have a pretty good idea of the timeline of what happened to Yuki Eri. That he was abused by Kitazawa when he was a kid. Kitazawa is shot and killed. We never speak of him again, or we talk about him a lot. And then you get to EX, which is supposed to be like right after the end of the original manga.
Yeah, because the original manga ends with Yuki and Shuichi going to New York.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler, to visit Kitasawa's grave. I think
Yes.
to end um to kind of like to give
Yeah,
closure
it's
to
supposed to like a
these both.
symbolic bow on the end of the relationship
Yeah,
so that
yeah,
they can go off and prosper. Because Aries still has some, frankly, very well deserved baggage about the whole thing.
yep, yep.
So they go to New York and they meet this kid.
Oh
This
my god.
Deus Ex Machina child leaps out of a bush. And we find
Yeah,
out that the kid, the kid's handler is Yoshiki Kitazawa. Terrible example
yeah.
of trans representation.
Handler, I love that.
Huh? Is that
But
not what?
otherwise,
Is that not
no,
what
no, fair.
Yoshiki is in this
Absolutely, that's
instance?
absolutely fair.
Child
Yeah,
handler,
I mean,
retainer,
and she, yeah, and she made sure to uh resign that job. I'd say,
as soon as possible, uh,
yeah, fair.
so she can get bottom surgery, which you don't need to
Not what?
resign. Yeah,
Because I haven't read EX in so long,
yeah, it's so she
so
can get bottom surgery, which you don't need to give up a child for.
but she didn't want the child. That's the thing, you know. I
Okay,
mean,
we're getting ahead of ourselves.
I
Yoshiki
mean,
is like, hey, this Deus Ex Machina child, his name is Riku,
yeah,
and this is my brother's kid. Now,
yeah.
we don't know the full Kitazawa family.
No.
Child handler, behold my feral bush child. Tours. Yes, that is exactly what Riku Kitazawa
That
is.
is exactly what it is.
Yes, that's literally what it is. So we don't know the full Kitazawa family, but we have to imply that when Yoshiki says my brother, that she means Yuki Kitazawa.
Yeah, yeah,
Now, Riku is conservatively, let's say like five, right? You want to say like five or six?
yeah. I would say 5 or 6. I think.
Yeah.
Actually, I wonder. Let me just check real quick here.
Corolla casually checking notes.
No, I'm just because I remember when we in this one that
Mm-hmm.
he says how long it's been since the past since the
So
other
we're gonna
one.
do like reverse math. Got it.
I can't, but I can't do math. I don't know. I yeah.
Okay, we're gonna say that he's
Whatever.
like
Go
five or
on.
six.
Yeah.
Now we have to go back in time. So Eri is abused by Kitazawa,
Yep.
and Kitazawa dies. We have to say that there is at least what 10 years between Kitazawa's death and Eri as we meet him.
Yeah.
At least.
But Yuki. Wait. Okay. Isn't Yuki 16 when it happens? I'm pretty sure he's 16, and he is 23 in the manga. So that's he's 20. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, he is 23 when he meets.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait. Because they have been at the end of the manga, Yuki states explicitly that they have been together for 2 years.
Yeah.
Um, and Shuichi turns 19 at the beginning of the manga, so he's
Mm-hmm.
20. I'm pretty sure Yuki's 23 at the end
Okay.
of the manga at least. So
So that 16 number, I do remember that one. I also remember early versions of the translation that there was a more exaggerated age gap between Kitazawa and Eri, just to like add drama. That
Mm.
also means that it pushes back how long he was abused, which somehow makes it worse. Either way, there is a period of time in between his death and okay.
Yeah.
So even if we do 23 to 16, that's 7 years. So I'm not too off the bat when I say 10. I feel less dumb now.
Yeah. No, no, that's totally fair. I was thinking it too. I just
Okay.
wanted to.
So there's a 7 year gap where we're assuming that Yuki Kitazawa is dead. And yet here we are presented, conservatively, a 6 year old child.
Yep.
That checks out for the time continuity of Murakami first. Yes, accurate.
It really
Now,
does.
I don't have. I'm lying. I have a lot of questions. Where did this child come from? We
A
don't get
lab.
a
I
who's
don't know.
who saved his sperm, ma'am.
I don't. Oh my god.
Who was harvesting Yuki Kitazawa's semen?
Okay, but no, I don't even want to say it. I had a thought, but I don't want. I don't want to, because I don't want to tarnish Yoshiki's character even further, because I think she's been through a lot.
Do you
But
think it was Yoshiki?
I
Then why is she
mean,
so willing to pawn the kid off?
but that's the thing. What if it's not even? What if it isn't Yuki's kid though? What if it's actually Yoshiki's? It's still a Kitazawa, and she
It
is
is. It is, but
she.
Yoshiki wouldn't have any reason to lie about it being
No,
her
I know.
kid.
I was just trying to make sense of it.
Unless they did that TV thing, like they extracted it from for the sake of having a child. He didn't have anyone that would benefit from him having a child.
I don't know.
Accurate.
Okay,
Like,
let's see.
yeah.
No, just keep
Oh,
going.
No.
I'm just
Corolla's
trying
been
to
doing
find.
math on her phone this
No,
whole time.
I'm not doing math. Don't worry.
Corolla's over
Don't
here
sit
doing.
there.
Corolla's over here doing math with numbers over here.
I wouldn't do math if my life depended on it. You're safe. But I'm looking for some notes that I had on. Um,
Either way,
yeah,
where did this kid come from?
we
What
don't
is he
know,
doing
but
here?
apparently he's Kitazawa's. So I don't know. I think, like, quite honestly, I think that is just another case of Murakami screwing up her timeline and just like being like, I don't care, I want this to happen. But where's the fun in that? Like, let's
I mean, yeah, like
conspire.
the thing is that you're not wrong, but where it right, it still doesn't add up. Like no matter what you do, like it still doesn't really add up. The issue is
No,
that
it
this
doesn't.
is such a big deal for it to be a throwaway because it devastates Aerie. It fucks up Aerie for a good long while, and it creates
It's
a
so
major
sad because
problem. Hmm?
he was finally, getting somewhere, and then this happens.
Right, and like it's a major roadblock at first for Suichi and Yuki's relationship. It did later, get better, but I don't know. This kind of goes back to my earlier feeling about I'm not really fond of Yuki and Suichi because I think Yuki still very much, very clearly has too many feelings for Kitazawa that are not resolved. Like his willingness to just handle Kitazawa's kid. I'm just saying
Yeah,
that
but
would make me feel a lot like the other woman in my own fucking marriage.
the thing is, like, I mean, yeah, we're gonna focus on EX first because I have a lot of input on this. But I was
Oh,
just trying to find a number. I'm still looking through the book because I know it's in here somewhere.
girl is over here doing like full on genealogy work.
Listen, I am
She's
invested.
constructing timelines. She's doing graphs.
I I hope you're all appreciating my very hard work because
Like she is fuck girl is trying.
I'm very invested in this. I just
But
don't
like,
understand because I know I had this in my notes and I can't friggin' find it and it's driving me insane. So now I have to like look for cold hard evidence.
not cold hard evidence.
What the heck? Okay, no, I know, I know.
We do stand a BL scientist. We appreciate Corolla's efforts.
Thank you. I'm BL scientist now. I'm very appreciative of this.
Yeah, but like it doesn't make sense. Where did he come from? Outside
Immaculate
of
conception.
outside of that
No.
bush that he ran out
Yeah,
of.
he was spawned from the bush.
That was his
Or just
spawn point.
it's just, you know, Yuki's presence in New York was so powerful that it just
That it
somehow
spawned a trauma child.
yeah, I wouldn't put it past Murakami to do it.
That makes more sense than anything else.
I mean, yeah.
So then you have the time paradox child that doesn't make sense. We're never going to get an answer for this, which is the frustrating part.
Yeah. But
Yes.
what so I can't even because it was yeah, like Momotaro.
Yes.
Momotaro came out of like a what are they even called? Like in like a mame Shiba thing, right? I can't remember. I
Momotaro?
don't know anything. Momotaro, yeah.
A peach, which isn't his name?
No, he I think didn't he come out of like one of those like those sugar pea thingies? I don't know.
No, he came out of a peach. That's why he's named Momotaro.
Who am I thinking of that came out? Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. There were a lot of those in you know in ye old Japanese folklore.
Amanda passes Japanese 101 by knowing what peach means.
Congratulations. Am I quiet? Is it my microphone?
Oh, you're back now. It was your microphone, I
Okay.
think.
Okay. Because I don't know what's happening because I can't even hear myself, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's just remain close to microphone.
Okay, I will mute. I am here. Yes. But yeah,
So,
so
yes.
this child appears
Mm-hmm.
out of nowhere and is entrusted literally based on this panel here. Where's the
Free
literally
kid,
and
enjoy.
yeah, to Shuichi and
Yes.
Yuki.
Is that what happens? You just go to New York and get a free kid?
Yeah. It's like you are our 1 billionth visitor. Have a free child.
Have a
Congratulations.
free child who's probably conceived at some point by your former abuser?
Who yeah.
So who is more likely to skeet and skedaddle? On the child? Probably Airy.
But it's like it's so weird. Like I really haven't read this in ages because it traumatizes me so bad because it hurt me. Because of the cliffhanger that we were left on for friggin', 70 years.
Yeah, it was a bad cliffhanger.
But yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, like that was such
Yuki's blind. I'm in pain.
he gets his vision back. Fucking
But I didn't know that because they left us hanging for, 1 million years until someone found
no,
out
like
that
it
he's
gets
blind.
resolved at the end of the chapter.
No?
Yes.
What at the end? No, because well, the manga, the volume ends with him still being blind. I wasn't reading the scans. I was just reading this, so I didn't know that. And I didn't know. You don't understand. It was like 10 years of me not knowing whether he got his visions back. But I was suffering. Okay, it hurt me, and it also hurt me in other ways because I was like, "What the hell, Ryuichi? What are you doing?"
He is
But that's
doing
another
his
story.
fucking best.
No, yeah, well, he was trying to. I'm like, no, but we're not talking about that because it was horrible
No,
for me.
Ryuichi is doing
Um,
fine.
but there's that weird scene because again, this episode is full of spoilers. Like, I'm sorry in advance, or we're
Why? It's
late
like
to.
it's a 30-year-old series.
Yeah, but like for Gravi X, but
Oh,
because Ryuichi kisses Shuichi at one point, and
he
I'm
does.
like, why are you trying to be a home wrecking whore? Why do you have to do this to me? I was enjoying my life.
Well,
I
I think yeah, like he does it intentionally to piss off Aerie.
Yeah, there was a it is resolved and it is explained. I just but when I was reading it, it was really I
I
was
was
like, what the
fine
hell?
with it. I
I
was
was
fine
not.
with it. Okay,
But see,
well,
that's the difference because you're open to these constellations and I
I
am very
am.
set in my ways. I just
I'm
want
I am
yin and yang.
fine.
But it's like yeah.
I will
But
pair
then
Suichi
but
with
then
anyone that isn't Aerie.
I don't get I'm like but they're so perfect. I love
I
them so
no, I
much.
don't think that at all. I think
I
that they are
think
two codependent disasters who bring out the absolute worst in each other.
But see, that's where this baby comes into the mix, okay? I love this book so much. Okay, because continuing the time paradox, and this is what I was trying to find out, and I'm pretty sure that it says somewhere and that I'm just friggin' blind. But in this book, this is in English, it's called the Shuichi family circumstances, and I think this is really endearing because, spoiler alert, the phantom child comes home to Japan with Yuki and Shuichi, and they are now the parents. And I remember it being really weird in EX that Riku starts calling Shuichi mommy for whatever reason. I was like, and that's another question. Where is the mom? And
I,
why?
yeah, like is the
Anyway,
there's so there's so much about. I think Riku Kitazawa is like everything wrong with gravitation summed up into one character.
yeah, and yeah, I
Where
real
the thing is that you're right. I think he genuinely is just there to cause drama.
yeah,
Like Maki Murakami wanted X, so she had to figure out how to. So she had to get to X. The problem is that she didn't think through
no,
all of the
exactly.
things to get to X.
Yeah. And so when this thing, which is also known as gravitation NG, and if you know some Japanese slang, you know that NG stands for no good.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she's aware of how ridiculous it is. But this book, this focuses more on it focuses on Riku actually and his life because he is now in high school. So he has been living with them, and this creates further paradox. This is what I was trying to find the numbers because if he is 6 when he comes to live with them,
Mm-hmm.
actually maybe it does make sense. Maybe this takes place around 10 years after EX because he is now in high school and Yuki and Shuichi are both in their 30s, which I think
Mm-hmm.
is I mean it's so strange because now we're the same age. But it's again we're the same age again, but it's really and the story focuses on how Riku struggles because every time he has to go to a teacher parent conference or whatever, he has to bring his mom, and he's always been made fun of because his mom is a man named Shuichi, and Shuichi does everything he can to be a good mother, and it's really very slapstick comedy. It's really you know again, I'm not necessarily a fan of the family constellation, and I also agree with you that Riku, I feel like he doesn't need to be here. But what I do love about this is that it has all this craziness and
Mm-hmm.
that you see Shuichi and Yuki in the background and how they are with each other. Of course, Yuki isn't actually here most of the time because he has become a mountain hermit somewhere and has left and is like barely at home ever, and he has grown like he grows this beard, and when he comes back, and the thing is he is jealous of Riku. So there's this whole new paradox because he's jealous because Riku gets all of Shuichi's attention and he doesn't like that. And then he has to sort of deal with his feelings. And it's actually very sweet. It's very funny and very sweet. I I don't know if she intends for us to consider it part of the actual canon, but she
Because
probably
that's
should.
the other part that we didn't discuss is we still don't know what is canon and what isn't. Because she'll just do shit.
Yeah.
And I guess this is the only saving grace. We can decide that Riku Kitazawa doesn't exist, that he's a figment of everyone's
Yeah.
horrible, traumatizing imagination, that EX isn't real. We can make that
I but
choice.
and I Yeah, and the thing is, if you look at and I think that the doujins as well, and we talked about this a little bit in the episode,
Mm-hmm.
the doujins gives you that option in particular because a lot of the newer doujins, like I said, are crossing into canon territory and
Mm-hmm.
are mingling with the canon,
Mm-hmm.
and in those, as far as I've seen, Riku doesn't exist. Because the most recent doujin that came out, the novelist is in a good mood,
Mm-hmm.
takes place when they're in their 30s,
And
but
Riku's not
Riku isn't
there.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't so I think that you're absolutely right. You can pick and choose whatever you like. And
Yeah,
yeah.
totally. And I think that's a feature and a flaw
Hmm.
because it
Yeah.
takes someone, and I don't mean to sound gatekeepery. I already made the choice that EX doesn't exist. Fair and valid. Fair
Fair.
and valid. Uh, that you have to have someone who's really like on your level to really deep dive talk about gravitation. And I say like with this with love.
Mm.
Because like, fuck, if you listen to the episode, there are places where like Corolla and I are like, well, wait, did this happen? When did this? Who's can't like you're seeing that now. And like I would say, and
Yeah.
I've said this before, I think you are the only person who is on my level as far as gravitation goes. You are like the only
Yeah.
you were like the only other person. And we were still like, oh fuck, who wrote that? Like whose timeline is
Yeah.
this? What is character?
And this is
It's
why I
hard.
say, yeah, and this is why I said in my panel at FujoCon as well that I think that in order to truly appreciate gravitation, you have to sift through a lot of the crazy and kind of look between your fingers at it and just concentrate on like
Mm-hmm.
kind of like the main story because there's so much stuff that is just like, and
Or
we
you can
know this,
yeah.
yeah, because she's
Or sorry to
constantly
cut you
saying it.
off. Like you can pick your canon. Like I have a pretty neat canon for me as far as like gravitation goes.
Yeah.
It's not
Losing my mind. No, but you're allowed. I think, I mean, like you said,
no, I don't know. Mine's still. I mean, obviously, I still acknowledge the canonization of Yuki and Suichi. I'm not crazy. Like, I'm not like. And then we time travel back to the '90s, and Ryuichi's no longer insane, and they get married on a mountain. Like, no, I'm
would
not
you put it?
insane.
Would you put it past Murakami to actually do that though? Because that could happen. That could be a feature.
I would pay
You
cash
don't know.
money. I would pay cash money that they just like open up like a cartoon portal. It's like fucking Bugs Bunny, and there's
No, but
like yes,
no, but I dead ass. I promise you. Like, okay, let this be a headcanon, but Toma probably has some sort of basement with like all of these shady science experiments. I can guarantee you, if there is a time travel option in Gravitation,
Toma has it.
Toma has patented it. Like he owns
Okay,
it. Like
secondary headcanon. What if Capybara is not a flashback, but Toma going back and rewatching
oh
Eri
my
being
god.
traumatized?
And again, I think Toma is the devil, and I so sure. I mean, why not?
I mean, she does. She does.
Yeah, and
Like,
I respect that.
same in mood. Like,
I love her for that.
Fumiyo Shinaga does. Like, that's all a dojin is. Like, it's fanfic of your own characters, like most of the time, or of other characters. But like,
Yeah,
that's literally what she's been doing with the dojin since ever. And like,
yeah.
there's a huge. You'll hear me say this a lot, especially with Murakami. It's a feature and a flaw. It's great that she does that. I love it. Corolla loves it. I'm putting words in your mouth because you've also said those words.
I mean, yeah. Huh?
I'm letting you know if I have to mansplain for you that I'm doing it with your best interests at heart.
Okay.
Of
Okay. Sure.
thank you. But it's also it means that yeah, sometimes she does not care and certainly has not thought through what she's doing, like creating a time paradox child.
Yeah. And I mean, and I will say that, you know, when I was finished doing my deep dive into Gravitation this year, and I was
Hmm.
like really into it again, and I reread the whole manga and everything, I found myself wishing um that EX didn't exist, because I think the ending is perfect to the,
Okay.
you know, the manga. I love
Okay.
it. I love the way the manga, the original 12 volumes end, and I love
Okay.
the doujins, and I have mixed feelings about EX. But then also again this baby, because when I read it, because the thing is, I didn't own it until I was doing this project. I suddenly realized I could order it. I ordered it, I read it,
Hmm.
and I do love it for parts of it. I still don't necessarily want Riku to be in this dynamic, but the bits that I think there are just bits in here that make me very grateful that this book exists. For instance, and I just saw it. He's very cute. I mean, this panel alone with Yuki with this little thing on his head, with a little rag on his head cooking, is enough for me to be grateful forever that this book exists. I love it so much. But it, yeah.
It's so here's something else that I love about Gravitation is that depending on who you're talking to reading it is either the darkest and most psychological series that has ever existed, or it is a domestic fluff bomb of utter
Hello.
nonsense. Because if you listen to me talk about Gravitation, it is a story about trauma, multiple instances of sexual assault, and
But it
manipulation and
is.
gaslighting. If you talk to Corolla, it is way of the house husband with idols and one blonde man. I
And
make
a
it
lot of
sound
sex.
I
And a
make it sound
lot
like
of
fucking
sex.
killing stalking and Corolla makes like
But that's the beauty. That's the beauty of Gravitation, because it has it all.
like
And I
if you listen to either of us talk about like I think if we were to both write a synopsis of Gravitation, they would not sound like the same
no,
series.
no, you would never guess it was the same.
You would
And I
never
mean,
guess that we're talking about the same show if
I
either of us were
absolutely,
to write a synopsis for Gravitation.
yeah. And I absolutely, you know, I am in no way trying to ignore the trauma, because it is such a big part of the
Like
narrative.
I
It's such
wish
a
you
big part
would. It's
of the
screaming at you
series.
from the corner at every page.
No, but like it's, you know, it's such an important part of,
Yes.
you know, the story, good and bad. Yeah, exactly. And and for Yuki's character and character development, and
Hmm.
therefore as part of the plot.
Hmm.
And I absolutely, it's not like, you know, because the thing is, when I am reading Gravitation, it's like there are so many emotions, and you know, I'll be laughing out loud and hurting, you know, all over the place. But then
Hmm.
it always leaves me, I just turn into a pile of goo whenever I read it, because I love it so so much, even when it hurts me, and even when it confuses the hell out of me. And
Hmm.
I mean, I like to focus on the positive, but you're absolutely right. It is really really dark.
It is really
And
dark, and like I think
yeah.
like that is what like shockingly kept me around. I mean, you can look at your two hosts and you can tell that one is obviously a goth and the other is a goth pretending to be not a goth.
What are you talking about me?
Yes, you.
How? Okay.
You are also a little demented sadist at times.
I love pain. I mean,
Yeah. No,
my brain
no,
cells.
no.
Yeah.
Do not make me sound like I'm the bad guy for
No,
accurately
but
describing.
no, but it's true though. Like, I, if it's dark and horrible, I love it. You know?
Yeah.
Are we gonna talk about banana fish?
I mean, we can.
And my emotions? No, I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about banana fish today. I'm just
Okay,
having a
so
good
me with
time.
My Hero Academia, you with Banana Fish. Where it's
And
like, I don't want to
also,
talk about it. Brings it up. I don't want to talk about it.
yeah, yeah, I know, and I do this all the time. And it's gotten to the point, you know, where like my family, who are completely clueless about all of this, is like, I'll be like talking about something, and then my mom is like, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh no, it's just this thing called banana fish," and she's like, "Oh yeah, banana fish." Because she knows, because I've been suffering loudly. But
That's so cute. That's so cute.
but I also like other things that have traumatized me. I just want to point it out. It's just that banana fish keeps
Yeah,
resurfacing.
Corolla has read other series.
I have read a lot of horrible,
can
painful
can
things.
confirm she has read other series. Well, like, yeah, it's amazing to me when I think about it. Like, if we were both to write a synopsis of Gravitation, then it would not sound like the same show.
I feel like we should do that. Like it should be like a Patreon feature. Like this monthly
Okay,
bonus, we have each written.
we have each written what we think. Like, it's like a book report, but bad. Like, we have both written what we think Gravitation is about, and watch it just be like, this is not
Yeah,
this
and then
is not the same show.
grade us. How did we do? Grade us in the comment section. You know, like
Yeah, about like
I
how
would do
just probably completely off the fucking rocker we are when
that.
it comes to being right. But yeah, like it blows my mind that it really does. There is one thing I also will say about Gravitation, and I don't think it gets enough credit for this, is that it is remarkably cerebral in places. Like, there are very few boys' love that I think, with a plot as relatively simple as Gravitation, that lends itself to thought like this. Like,
Yeah,
the fact that we were able to talk for 2 hours about it and going almost an hour and a half on this,
yeah. I mean,
like, there's a lot to unpack. And again, feature and flaw. It's great because you can have some really nuanced and fun conversations. It also makes you end up looking like a fucking crazy person
yep.
because by the time you're done, you don't know what is up anymore.
Very, very, very true.
Because yeah, like, you're doing all these like connecting timelines, and it's like, oh well, this happened and maybe this happened.
And then all of a sudden, you're kind of like you you follow a trail that doesn't lead anywhere because you're just like, but then there was this thing, and then that was just one of those things where Murakami was just like, I just want to draw this scene. It doesn't lead anywhere, and you have crazy, crazy things happening.
Yeah, you get 15 panda robots. And
Oh
like,
my god.
you really don't like the panda robots.
I it has grown on me, I will admit, but I have a hard time with the panda robot.
The
I
panda
really
robots
do.
are a little excessive. Out of all the things in Gravitation that are excessive, I will agree that the panda robots are a little excessive.
But but again, yes, exactly. That was my limit. Like, I can accept all of these other things. I'm perfectly fine with all the blood that is being shed and how Shuichi literally stabs himself in the throat at some point. But he's fine. I can deal with all of that. But the robot.
I was about to
But remember
say,
how I said,
okay, here's your trolley problem. Panda robot or time paradox child.
oh, but I. But I'm so attached to the NG now that I don't want to let the Paradox Child go because then
God
I'll
damn
lose
it.
this beautiful book. I love this book, okay? I can't.
We have to
But
do something about the time paradox child. Can't just have a time paradox child running around wreaking havoc. It's not
I'm
good.
just, I just don't understand how. And I guess Murakami doesn't either, since she did the skip because he's 6 years old in EX,
Mm-hmm.
and then he is a high schooler, and she's just like, yeah, he's just been living with them for 10 years, and we just skipped all of that because I don't know how that would work. Like, where are child protective services for one?
Yeah,
Um,
also, like, was
but
yeah, like, we don't know who his mom is. Was there any literally us?
oh my god, can someone make that? Can someone like Photoshop us onto the meme?
Please. Oh my god.
I need this in
We
my
do
life.
need that. That's
I'm gonna
literally
put it.
us. Just
Yeah.
with fucking charts and
Put
just
it on
books
my. I'm gonna put
everywhere.
it on my wall if someone
Yeah, I
makes
will
it for us.
absolutely frame it. OMG.
Oh
Like,
my god, yeah.
but that's it. Um yeah, it's so weird. And it's weird that like it stuck with us for this many years. I definitely want to go back to talk about like cultural importance.
Yeah.
Because like I said in the show, this was really like one of the first series to become like mainstream popular in the West.
Hmm.
Um I also want to talk about the very uniquely Western phenomena that was the gay baiting male cosplayers
Yeah, yeah.
that
I
would
remember you
cosplay
talking about that.
Gravitation and like just bag women just like with a fucking just with a net because they could cosplay like fucking Airy and stuff like that or Ryuichi and they could get through it enough, especially the anime, and ignore the gay shit to absorb it, and
Yeah.
then just use that as fucking bait for horny Fujos.
I think,
Those
I mean,
men were brilliant.
yeah, and I think they didn't exist here because back
Hmm.
then we didn't really have a lot of cosplay culture here. I think,
Yeah.
I mean, I knew one and he was my boyfriend. I did Shuichi and he did Yuki. And it was a lot of fun, but I mean, we were alone in doing it. There wasn't a horde. I didn't have a horde of Yukis.
So I've done that with a boyfriend as well, where I think I was
Yeah, I
Suichi once in my
remember.
life. It is not fun. I will never do it again.
Oh, are there photos?
No,
Okay.
no, there are intentionally not photos. But I'm pretty sure that there are photos of me cosplaying Yuki and like smoking underneath a smoke alarm,
That sounds very Yuki though. I feel like that's some sort of that's like a metaphor for Yuki's life.
standing underneath a smoke alarm.
Oh my god.
That is the most airy Yuki thing to
I
do,
really
isn't it?
do. Yeah, I think so. I can picture it clearly. But yeah.
I was, yeah, but like it made huge mainstream like waves at just the
Yeah.
amount of legal merch that you could get. Because like remember back in the day, like getting legal merch was really hard to do. It's why, rest in peace Yowie Crate. Like Yowie Crate made such a splash here. Uh because when we during our age, you couldn't get legal merch from shit like that easily. You either had to have like that
No.
one friend in Japan, or you were just stealing shit. Like it was like someone printed a Dragon Ball Z shirt from a kiosk at the mall.
Yeah, and it was like I don't know if you have them if you have them in the US. We have like these summer markets and things,
Hmm.
and there would always be like those vendors that would sell like typically I remember when Pokemon came out there were like these the rip-off Pokemon shirts with all the Pokemon are in the wrong colors and
Oh
everything. Like they were
yeah.
like made in Thailand or
So we have like
whatever.
flea markets for that, like Traders Village and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
By saying Traders Village, I'm gonna like trigger a very specific sect of our audience. But like, yeah, we definitely had that. Or like, honestly, there were like two places that you could get like anime nerd merch. It was Suncoast or it was Hot Topic.
Oh yeah.
Like those
Yeah,
are the
this was
only places.
Yeah, I remember when I was old enough to finally shop on the internet and I could buy like Naruto shirts from Hot
Hmm.
Topic and I didn't know about the customs fees that were added. Uh Rest in peace, Young Chu, but
Those guys upset me. Gays for Fujos made a lot of anticlimactic con encounters. I can only imagine.
that's
Uh,
such a paradox though in in many ways. Like
yeah.
you're dressing up as a gay dude to get chicks, but then the girls only want to see you make out with other guys. I don't yeah.
I mean, girls do it sometimes too. Look at any free cosplayer.
Uh um Guilty. I accidentally instigated a thing at my own convention where I'm an organizer a few years back because a friend of mine was cosplaying from free and with a friend, and I was like, okay, I have 5 minutes, can I take a picture of you before you disappear into the crowd? And they were like, yeah, sure. And I was like, am I allowed to post you? Like, can you do like fan service? And they were like, okay, since it's you. And they allowed me to post them. And out of nowhere, there was just like this battalion of fangirls who just appeared out of nowhere and started like, oh, do this, go like that, and then snapping photos. And they were just like looking at me, and I was like, I'm sorry. But they made for some great photos. They were really
Oh, I'm
nice.
sure. I'm absolutely
They
sure.
were good sports. They were great. I mean, but yeah.
Treat cosplayers like people. That's why I go out of my way now to
Yeah.
cosplay as people that you would not want to talk to.
And I just want to point out that I never would have done that if I didn't know those guys and we were
Yes,
like I just didn't think of the consequences and I felt so bad.
fair
And
and
I was an
valid.
organizer. I was like, "Oh no."
Like I go out of my way now to cosplay characters that like people would not normally talk to. It's an excellent strategy so far.
Coping
So
with, yeah. I was actually not to bring up Tamaki again, but I was in cosplay at an event recently where I was a judge for a
Mm-hmm.
competition, and it was very very small, and so it's just me and my co-judge, and we're taking all of the entries, taking their names and everything, and then
Mm-hmm.
there's a Bakugo cosplayer who comes up to me, and I'm Tamaki, right, and they're like, because I'm being very friendly because I'm working and I have to
Of
be like,
course.
what's your name, can I have your number, all of these things, and then they go, aren't you supposed to be like really shy and quiet, and I'm like, yeah, yeah, yes, but I also, and I basically turned into Tamaki because I had an identity crisis, but yeah.
The fact that I can see that hurts me a little bit. Uh, I think the one convention that I was left alone the most is when I cosplayed as Taki Aizawa, and like for the 5 people that recognized me, no one spoke to me.
Yeah, no, I can see
For like
that.
the 5 people who didn't think I was just like vague anime boy number 675, for the 5 people who knew what I was going for, no one. No one said anything. It's like good.
Yeah.
That was one of the best like dream roll up cons. I think we had a Yuki Kitazawa, we had Toma, and we had Taki Aizawa like in a group.
Oh my god, it's like the hell squad, it's like
You
crawling
roll
out of the
up with
depths of
that
hell
group, no one's
for, oh
fucking
my
talking to
god.
you.
If I was there in my as Shuichi, I think I would have been devastated. Like,
You
you know,
just
but yeah, that's where you get, get a group shot where like all of them are like standing over Shuichi, like stepping on him or something, and then one Shuichi cosplayer on the ground.
oh my
Oh
god, that
no!
was an amazing. That talk about rolling up.
Oh my god!
My husband went to a convention, saw cosplay dresses. Oh no,
Oh
I am not a blood elf.
yeah. I mean,
It is fun getting people not knowing who you are at convention every once in a while, except for like the times
I
where you worked really really hard.
Yeah, but I've had, I think, one of the most, and this has happened to me multiple times when I've been at events where I haven't been cosplaying,
Mm-hmm.
and people come up to me and they think that I'm cosplaying as Ramona Flowers from Scott Pilgrim, and I'm like, this is this I'm literally just being me right now. What? Please stop. And I don't even like her. And the first time it happened, I hadn't seen the film, and I was like, what? I don't
I've never made
understand.
that connection, and I now I hate it. I hate I hate that
I
you've done that to me.
I didn't do it to you. They did it to me,
I
and it
don't
keeps
like
happening.
I don't like what you've done to me with this knowledge.
You can
Um,
unsee it. Please unsee it.
I don't
I'm
know if I
not.
can now. I'll try. Um, I think in my head you're pretty firmly Suichi like 99% of the time, so I think that'll work itself out.
I mean, fair. Thank you.
But yeah, this is where we will answer y'all's questions about the episode if you have any. I think we were pretty thorough in the episode, and I say thorough, it was 2 fucking hours, and I feel like there was still a bunch that we didn't cover just because we couldn't. Like,
I can talk about this all day, every day.
oh yeah, we
Take
can
me up.
absolutely we could talk about this all day and night. Like that's the problem. We can do
Yeah.
this for a while. Uh,
But
yes.
no, just please do ask us questions. But also, since we actually do have a live audience, I'm curious, if anyone has, what is your favorite moment, or what's your favorite Gravitation song? Because we were talking about that, and we're making a
Oh
playlist
yeah,
for this.
we need to make you guys a playlist. I was gonna make it in
Yeah,
Spotify, but
and
Spotify
then
has like no gravitation music.
this is why I am not on Spotify.
I can see that happening, and that's still amazing. What does that mean, small child?
I
Uh,
I I'd say it's a compliment.
yeah, I definitely take it as a compliment. Like, I would take it as a compliment. The only times that I don't really take stuff like that as a compliment is when it like feels like it's just a kid being dumb, like, or when it's just people being dumb. I had a guy catcall me on the bus, and he said, "You look like Halle Berry," and it's like that's just categorically not true. Like that's just not accurate. Like I get it. Like I get it. You're trying to pick me up, but that's just not right. Like Halle Berry is fucking gorgeous.
Are you saying you're not gorgeous?
No, I'm not.
Oh
You could
my
I
god.
have to check my eye bags as separate luggage when I go to fly.
Oh, but likewise though. You just can't really see them because of the ring
My
light.
niece flipped when I came home with a pinky cotta. Oh, that's so precious.
That's so precious.
That's so precious. The only story I have about that is that I was watching Gravitation. I was reading one of the dojins on my TV, hooked up from my laptop with a friend. We are reading Capybara because that's a cool bro thing that you do. Two
Ooh.
friends is you read porn together. Uh,
What else do you do though?
yeah. What else do you do outside of fuck each other? And we weren't doing that, so I guess just watch weird porn together. And my little cousin came in, and he's like, "What are you guys watching?" I had to like throw my laptop across the room.
Oh, I have a similar story. It was not Gravitation Dojin. It was, of course, Naruto Dojin. And
Of
I
course.
was. This was when I was living at home, and there was something wrong with my laptop. And I told my dad previously that
Mm-hmm.
there's something wrong with my laptop. It's not charging. I think the charger was broken because my bunny ate half of it, so that was a problem.
You had a
And
bunny?
there was a yeah, I had a bunny. He was wonderful. And
Oh.
he ate, he never, it's so weird because he would never like chew on anything he wasn't supposed to, but then one day he just decided, this is the day I eat your charger. And then he never ate anything again, but it wasn't plugged in. But
That's
ever
good.
since that, we had a lot of problems with the power supply. And so I told
Mm-hmm.
my dad, and I was sitting on the couch, and I don't know what I was thinking. I was young, and I was
Mm-hmm.
sitting on the couch and I was reading Naruto Dojin on my laptop.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this one dojin where I can't even remember because Naruto's there, but there's a scene with Sasuke that is just Sasuke, and he uses snake hands, and then stuff happens. And anyway, so I was reading this thing, and my dad comes and he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna look at your laptop," and he physically takes it from me, and all I can think is my dad is seeing snake rape right now. I can't live on this planet anymore. He didn't say a word. I have no idea if he actually saw it.
He saw it.
I have never. I was like, okay, this is I'm moving to Spain. Goodbye.
My aunt read one of my fan fictions once. And she asked like, "What do you know about all these sex acts?" And I just sort of like shrugged because there's no way to answer that question.
No, but particularly because like we previously discussed that you were writing these things before you even.
Yeah, I didn't know anything that I was writing. So like that I think probably makes it worse.
Yeah, probably.
So I just like no. But that was not a fun experience having
Incredible.
your having your Catholic aunt read your fanfic that
Yeah,
I feverishly wrote to the soundtrack of mindless self indulgence at the wee hours of the morning when I was 15,
as one does.
as one does. Uh, but yeah, if you guys have questions, comments, and concerns
I mean,
about
I do,
that,
but
whatever. Me handing over my left. Oh my god, yes, yes. Fun fact: I went to
Oh,
Hawaii with one of my aunts, and I bring my laptop with me everywhere. Like that's just what I do. Like, even if I never use it on the trip, I bring my laptop. And my aunt's like, "Oh, if you're bringing your laptop, um, I'll just use yours for work." And I was like, "Every
red
button you
flag.
click will lead you to porn because this is like my personal laptop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Everywhere you click, you will find porn." I made her like her own profile and everything. It's like so fucking boxed in. She can get to like she can get to like one browser and like three websites. She got her own whole ass computer on my computer. She never used it, but I was fucking ready. I was like, "No, you are
Yeah,
not."
yeah.
Like, let me do 15 things before you even think about touching my laptop. Okay, when it comes to gravitation, spicy
Absolutely.
marmalade, smashing blue. No matter how long it's been, like a Dolly part, super. Oh fuck,
I
super
love
drive.
that. I
Ugh.
love that. I love Super Drive. No,
It's
but
fine.
spicy marmalade, I like
Yes.
seriously, it's such a
I don't like it.
it's such a overlooked
We do
song.
not
Have you
need new merch.
Yes! Yes! I finally did something. Snake rape, yes. It goes with the dragon fucking. It's like perfect. They're a combo.
Just through a measuring tape. That's what I've been playing with.
Oh, for reasons. Hmm.
That
You
is
know,
really sus. Why do I have a measuring tape here?
it's
What
your
was I
inner
doing?
it's your inner 80 Yuki. Um do I don't even know.
Every part of that somehow got worse. Because
I
what's
don't
he doing
know.
with it? He knows how big he is. He doesn't need help.
You
And the
do
tape measure is the
no, but
worst way. That is the worst way to try to measure that. You're better off using a Subway footlong sandwich.
but you can I mean, it's pretty sturdy. Maybe you could tie Shuichi up with it.
No, it's not.
I don't know. Can I just okay? Because that's one thing. Because you, I mean, I guess I brought this up on myself since the measuring tape. But okay, I just want to take a moment to appreciate. Oh my god, to appreciate um, 80 Yuki's penis because I have. I know this came out of no. I'm sorry because the
Elaborate.
doujins, the like I have read a lot of doujin. I have read a lot of BL. I am very old. I have seen a lot of dicks. Okay, but
He has a very
somehow
aesthetic dick.
it is so gorgeous. Like it's I think I've the way she draws it. It's so beautiful. I can't help it. I'm sorry. I just needed to say it because we're doing this now. I
Corilla's gonna be one of those fans that
just what?
that has like a shrine and it's just like a molded copy of Aries' dick.
Oh my god. You know, in 15 years, that's
I'm
probably where we're
sorry.
at. I'm sorry. I just had to say it because I've just it's dawned on me lately that
His dick?
yes. But you know, it's obviously been there for a lot of Georgians. I'm just saying that I
It's
think that I
obviously.
came to the that I realized that it's probably my favorite that I can remember because she draws it really well. And I think that he should be given credit for that. I just wanted to put it out there.
He, the fictional character, should be given credit for
For
the drawing of his penis.
yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we're on the same page.
No, I don't even know. We're not. It's gravitation. We don't know what page it is. We don't even know what volume we're on. I just wanted to point it out because since we're talking about it,
You're not wrong. She does like an anatomy wise. She does some really good
yeah,
porn.
she does some really weird porn. I do love, you know, the whole, how how Shuichi thinks it's gonna come out through his mouth and everything all the time. Like I
I mean, it does in that one dojin that doesn't have Yuki and Suichi, but they're clearly Yuki and Suichi, and it's about like vampires and stuff.
oh yeah, that one. There's the you mean Kuma Pop? Cause or is it? Yeah. But yeah, I
Mm.
was, and also I was reading because the there are several of those, but the new one, the gravitation, the what the oh my god, the novelist is in a good mood one with the
Mm-hmm.
tentacles because Shuichi is having some weird hallucination and he thinks there are tentacles, but it's just Yuki. But so she
Sansa.
splices. Yes, he has come to join the talk. So
I
she
don't like that you
splices.
summoned your cat via tentacle port discussion.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned actually because it was when I said that he came out of his shark bed and decided to join us.
Uh, what is? I have some questions.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. I remember again, back in my days when I actually did write fanfic. This was back when, Shippuden was still airing. And I was in this live journal community where all we did was like appreciate Sai because he's obsessed with penises. And we had a community dedicated to Sai's obsession, and I was writing like this anthology
Hmm.
where they would go to like penis landmarks around the world traveling, and it was a great. We had a lot of fun with that, and that's when
Yeah,
I
I
learned
can I
about
can see how that would like very easily lend itself towards.
towards Sai. And again, I love him. He's
You
wonderful.
would.
I would.
You definitely
I
do
mean,
have a type
I hated him at first though, but then I realized that
because
he's
he was
really
knockoff
really good.
Sasuke.
Yeah.
You
I
didn't
mean,
like replacement Sasuke.
no, and neither did Naruto. I must remind you that that Naruto was like Sasuke's way stronger than I was like, oh, I see you. But
Oh
no,
my
yes,
god.
I'm fine. I don't know
Are
how
you?
we went from Yuki's penis to this, but
This is all your fault.
I know. But
And
my
I'm
brain,
okay with it, but like this is definitely all on you. I take very little responsibility in this regard, except for the tape measure. That I
you have
fully
to take
take.
some because you're the one who invited me to do a podcast with you.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
that was
sorry.
your fault.
I'm sorry. I'll immediately stop liking you as a human being and valuing your opinion. It'll be just like gravitation.
No.
No,
No! You love me.
that's literally gravitation. It's Suichi yelling at Yuki, "You love me."
You're
That's
not allowed. You
that's
cannot
literally
laugh.
the series.
Oh, but that's actually I'm just because this I can talk about this for days, but like that is actually one of my two of my favorite panels because
Mm-hmm.
they're very similar. There's the panel when Yuki first, and I think that he hasn't really understood it yet. I don't think he really understands his feelings for Shuichi yet, but he's beginning to understand that there is
Mm-hmm.
something. And he says that he loves him, and and Shuichi just kind of like because he says it in like he implies it, and then Shuichi's like, wait, do you love me? And then he has this weird smirk, and then he says, yeah, and I'm like, he's so pretty in that panel, and that is very similar to a later one when Yuki's out walking in the street and he's like doing the thing with his keys. This is literally my favorite thing in the entire manga, I think. But he's like twirling his keys around, and then these two fangirls come running up to him and they're like, "Oh my god, 80 Yuki, 80 Yuki, give me your sign." And like he signs for them, and then as he's walking away, one of the girls she calls out and she's like, "I hope things are going well with Shindo-san." And he doesn't turn around, but he throws up one of these, and I'm like, it kills me every time. I love it so much. Okay, please, if no one if no one has any questions or like any favorite moments they want to share, I'm just gonna keep doing this.
And I'll keep letting her. That's the thing. I will
what
continue to let her. I will
what
say
do you?
this, huh?
Yeah. No. Go on.
Uh yeah, the longer I think about it, the more I do kind of hate that the anime flattened Eri a lot. I guess
Yeah.
I get it because I feel like when I think about the manga, the word that comes to mind a lot is just that it's a lot. Like, I guess in that instance, you do kind of need a straight man for all of the insanity. I wish that they hadn't chosen Eri to be the straight man, I guess. Like, the anime is trying to play everything like it's very serious. And, like, there's a read of that where a lot of these things should be taken more seriously.
Yeah.
But I don't. It is really a tragedy that he's so flattened in the anime. I do
Yeah.
kind of like it because
Oh
I'm
yeah.
kind of okay. Well, in a weird way, like I'm okay with a more stoic read of Aries sometimes.
Yeah. I I
It
li-
doesn't line up with him being bipolar, but
I do love his when he is stoic, and I love that that kind of serious side of him as well, like a lot. And
mm,
I remember when I saw the anime for the first time, and that scene when he first coughs blood and the episode ends. And I just
mm,
remember we were like, "Oh my god, we have to see the next one immediately," because it was such a It was such a strong moment. I definitely love all of that too. But I just think it's fun that he has this versatility.
Absolutely.
And yeah, but I
Yeah,
appreciate all sides of him.
you do. I do
Especially
as
yes.
well. Um,
Clearly.
I mean, favorite moments. Fuck. Like,
Yeah, I wanted to know if you had
I
any.
do like their dumb date, and and they do like a stupid shooting game, and like Suichi makes a dumb throwaway line, like "You're a really good shot,"
Uh,
and it's like, hmm,
no, I'm trying to no, because I was just thinking of the because I was just thinking because 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 in the anime there's the montage, right? Because they actually
yeah,
do go on the date. Because in the manga they never even get because they get to the
yeah.
amusement
We
park
get
and
a
it's
dumb
closed.
montage in the anime, and that's how you get a "It's in a 7 days," which
Yeah,
is one of my favorite songs.
yeah, yeah. I really do. And I was just because I just remembered because the shooting game and I just had that visual of Yuki with the gun and my brain was just like, yeah, that's
And it's one of those things that, again, as of reading it, that's a dumb throwaway line.
yeah,
Context makes that a horrifying line,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
don't like
It
that.
really Yeah, it really does. But I like because in the manga, they never actually get to go on the amusement park
Mm-hmm.
dates because that whole sequence is wild in the manga. It's so
It
funny.
is.
And then they end up but they do end up taking the purikura. And I love that little scene when Yuki is like he's like looking at it and you can
Mm-hmm.
tell when he's by himself in his office and you can tell that he thinks it's kind of cute and he does put it on his computer, but he makes sure that no one sees it. And he's like super paranoid by himself in his office. And I think it's such a funny scene.
I think he
And
puts it on his
I
lighter in the
love,
anime, and that somehow makes it worse.
yeah, I think so. But he puts it
I
on his big ass bulky 90s computer.
that you that like couldn't handle a fucking CD-ROM at that point. It's all on floppy disks.
Oh my god, those were the days.
I will say this: I do wish that we
Oh
got to
my god.
see what.
No, it was just my cat being gross.
Why is he gross? What did he do?
Because he tried to eat my earbud and like
No,
these
sweetie, you
these
can't eat
things come
earbuds.
off.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, and he would eat that.
No, you
He
can't
was
eat that,
chewing
sweetheart.
away. No, no good.
But I wish that we got to like know more about Ari as a writer because it doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense that he's a romance writer who's like wealthy and popular while he's alive.
Yeah, I mean that's but I feel like I mean, and we're gonna have to. This is a mandatory question because I cannot imagine that I was the only one who was bothered when Junjo was launched. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh, okay. So we've got some naive, stupid kid and then some young, handsome romance novelist. Really? Where have I seen this before? And I
In Fruits
was,
Basket.
no, don't ruin this for me. And I was
In
like, what?
Fruits
So, so
Basket.
So this guy is supposed to be like this generation's 80. I don't want that. And I was just like, I just want to, can people just agree with me that 80 Yuki is, superior
Oh, absolutely. I
to
think
what's his name?
Junjo is.
Usagi?
I mean, Junjo is fine. It's definitely not my favorite, obviously, but like,
I really, yeah, I don't
but
like
yeah,
him.
Ariuki is much better. But like, what kind of writer are you that like you are famous while you're alive? I think I said this in the episode, but I maintain I think he's more of like a Harlequin romance writer, where
Yeah,
he's not necessarily good, but he's prolific. Um, I think that he's basically like the Danielle Steele of romance in Japan.
Is your
No,
dog okay?
yeah, dog, don't eat oven mitts. OMG.
Oh my god.
That doesn't sound good. But like, I always wondered about that. It's like, also, I feel like we see him writing a lot, uh, but like we don't really get any good ideas about him doing like actual work. Yeah, I would have loved to see like Aries like process and writing. I mean,
Yeah.
also how he forms a sentence considering his levels of trauma.
But and also he's I mean, I do remember and I was thinking of this recently because
Time
I've
is weird,
been
yes.
yeah. because I've been watching and reading Pornographer again because the huge friggin' recommendation here. Like, if you get the chance to watch the Pornographer drama, then do it
Mm-hmm.
because it's so good and I love it. And
Mm-hmm.
but after watching that again in particular, like when we're having this conversation, it makes me think that because 80 did win, Yuki won an award at some point, and I think that I think that somewhere along the way, I've kind of just decided, I guess this is like a headcanon, but I think my understanding of his writing is that he probably did that thing where he's written like one novel that won
Mm-hmm.
some sort of award and was like really prestigious, but then
Mm-hmm.
he's also writing, like he's mass producing these romance novels on the side, but then he has like this one profound work, because that is exactly what is the case for what's his name, I've forgotten his name. The guy in Pornographer in this
Yeah.
case, because he did write this novel and it was like a huge success, and then he became really famous for it. But then he couldn't sell his next scripts, and he started writing porn novels. But
Mm-hmm.
he writes them under a pen name. But I thought that that was similar because I did feel like Yuki is kind of like pushing out all of these, like you say, like Harlequins. But
Mm-hmm.
then there is, because when they go on the game show, and Shuichi's running on the treadmill and it's like he's going to answer all of these questions, and then there's a question about
Mm-hmm.
Yuki, and they say that he won some award. So he must have written something, but I don't think that he's necessarily,
Yeah.
bringing
Profound.
about the
Yeah,
making
you
or
know what? I
writing
support
like
that
he's not the
headcanon.
next Tolstoy. Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think Tolstoy is the next Tolstoy, so let's be fair. Um,
I haven't read Tolstoy. I just, it was the first kind of profound thing that fell into my head.
literature degree Amanda rears her ugly head for a moment. Oh,
I also have a literature. No, actually, I don't have the degree, but I, I just want to point out that I mean, sure, but
oh
what am I
my gosh,
using?
good luck with
Good
paper.
luck.
We support you.
I
Don't
hope it
forget
goes
to take
well.
breaks.
Drink water.
Yeah, drink water. Shit.
We should like have like a Yahweh Shelf drinking game, like a hydration game, where it's like every time gravitation is brought up, you take a sip of water.
Oh, I was like, people are gonna die.
Over hydration. Don't drown yourselves, please.
Yeah, it's like Fujins perish in mass numbers.
Whoops.
It's like, oh, well, that was bad. Uh,
I
yeah,
didn't mean
it's
to.
I do support that headcanon because yeah, it does feel like he's like churning out these like probably like shitty romance novels, probably just like to pay the bills, and he probably
Yeah.
did like one book of like sad poetry when he was younger,
Oh
and
yeah, definitely. It was
that's like his
probably
great work that he's been like chasing the dragon for since he was like he published like one
absolutely.
published like one sad book of poetry, and he's just been trying so hard to
And the thing
get
is,
that
I think that
back.
Yuki, I think that he would actually be really good at it because you know how, I mean, this is me and I don't like poetry, putting it mildly. And I think that poetry, poetry to, commoners that aren't
Mhm.
poets, is typically, it's not very accessible. It's hard to understand. And Yuki is horrible with words. Like, he's so bad at expressing himself. Like, can you imagine? He just needs to put it down on paper, and then it will seem so mysterious that people are going to be like, oh my God, this is so deep and so profound. And then and it's really just
So I
how do I
actually,
word?
when you say it like that, I think he'd be an amazing poet, to be
Oh, yeah.
honest. I think yeah, like he'd definitely be one that people would talk about where they'd spend fucking years trying to analyze like a single line and everyone in the
Yeah.
room has a different answer and really it's just like something very basic. Uh
Yeah. It's
because
like,
I also was once an emo poet who thought that they were very clever. And
I am shocked.
so yeah, I shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. But I think he would lend himself very well to poetry.
Yeah. I do
Would
think
it be
so.
accessible or understood by anyone else but probably Toma? No. I may be reaching a bit, but I always thought that Hiro and Suichi had actual. Yes.
See, now Amanda's awake. You have
Yes.
awakened. Like happy dancing
Yes.
over there.
I
I
think that I think that they should be together.
I
I
do
think
too.
they deserve each other.
But I think that Murakami has given us the best of both worlds now because in these semi-canonical doujins, they have that agreement that I talked about where like Shuichi is allowed to get off with Hiro when he's on stage or like when they're on tour and things
Okay,
because
that's it. I think the shows get very different when it's on stage.
yeah, no, not on stage. That's not what I meant.
That
Although
ruins the whole Tomaseguchi pageant mom hypothesis.
as a Visual K fan, I am perfectly okay with this. By all
Gak's
means,
doing
carry
Vanilla
on,
Live.
girls.
Yes.
Do not, yeah. Don't get me started, okay? Because that is my god, and I don't want to talk about him, okay? Uh, because that will be a whole other podcast.
It would be.
uh yeah, but no, but there's this whole thing that she's doing now where it's like she's playing on those old strings, but it's like they are, I don't know because the like again like the most recent dojin, which again I do not necessarily recommend for everybody because it
Mm-hmm.
is a lot in
Mm-hmm.
a lot of ways, but just for 30s something hero, like he is so good looking in this doujin. Like I wanted to die when like I I posted some pictures on my Instagram from it because he's so beautiful. But I think I don't know what's happening with Ayaka in this universe because I while Shuichi and Yuki and Hiro seem to have this understanding that they can screw each other when
I
Yuki's
forgot
not
she
around.
existed.
I don't know if she knows about this and if she's okay with this.
I
I thought
forgot.
they.
I forgot she existed.
I actually thought they were really cute together. Mostly in the manga because the anime is really weird. But I think I don't know. I was rooting for them a little
I
bit.
think in my long running gravitation fic, I referred to Hero as someone who got airy sloppy seconds twice.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And I think there's like they have like a rule. I can't really remember if he's not allowed. There are rules to this relationship, but
Yeah, like
yeah,
they're not allowed
I
to have
think
penetrative sex, but
yeah, they're not. Yeah, exactly. That's
Suichi
what I
can use
saw.
Hero to get off, which
But I think it's so
sure.
funny because it taps into that, which I feel like that could be an episode in itself, really, about how yaoi anatomy works and how it's like if you get turned on, then this is apparently like it's like you're a ferret. It's like it will fucking kill you if you don't get laid immediately
Okay, but is
because
Suichi not? Because it pretty much is an on-off
no,
switch for him.
exactly.
Like,
But
but
it's like
that
but I'm thinking of in so many manga in general, it's like some guy gets hot and bothered, and then the other guy doesn't want to do it, or a girl for that matter, if it's a shoujo, and then the guy is like, oh, but what am I supposed to do with this? Like it doesn't go down by itself. Like, jeez, are you okay? Do
or
you need to go to
fleshlights
the
aren't
emergency
real.
room? Yeah, like so. I think that that's really funny. But when it comes to Shuichi, I guess he's a completely different species.
I would not be shocked. TBH. Uh, so it's been a lovely 2 hours.
Oh wow, it's been 2 hours.
Yes, that's what the timer says.
Oh my god. Oh, I don't even look at the timer. I forget that it's there.
I do sometimes. I try to keep conversations going for as long as possible. Uh,
Yes.
oh, Priapus. That was actually like
every
not a bad
single
manga series.
every single Yaoi series ever.
Yes, accurate. So next month, actually in a couple of weeks, we will be talking about our Fujin journeys, which
Expect more gravitation.
yeah, fortunately, uh, I'm super excited for that. We will have a live for
Yeah.
you. December gets a little bit hectic for both of us with the holidays and everything, but just know that we love you and we're thinking about you
We're
during the
super
holidays.
grateful for you.
We're so fucking grateful. Uh, we do have a Patreon now. I should have mentioned that at the top of the show, but I forgot that I put gin in this bottle of ginger beer. So
Well then,
I forgot there's alcohol in here.
calm down there. You know? But this
Never.
isn't Victorian England. You don't have to.
I
You don't have
have
to numb yourself with gin just because we're talking about gravitation.
I have 3 bottles of gin in my apartment.
Oh my god.
They're all
Should
different.
should we have an intervention?
So fun fact, my therapist doesn't like that I drink. And I bought a cup when I
Should
was
we have an
in
intervention, ma'am?
and I bought a cup when I was in Corpus that says why overthink when you can overdrink. And I
Can I
showed
just
it
point
to
out
him.
that
Yes.
that Yuki 80 needs that cup?
It's my favorite cup. It says why overthink when you can overdrink. It
Oh
is
my
absolutely my favorite
god.
cup. Uh ooh, mead. Um and I told him about that. He's like, I'm not sure if I like the message of that unless you're discussing water.
Yep. Fair.
If only
I
he
mean,
knew.
you know where I stand. I am on team water,
I
but
I'm on You know what? I'm on team if you're going to be irresponsible, do it in your house and where no one else is affected. The only person I stand to do harm to is myself, my bank account, and my stuffed animals.
poor Kumagoro, don't you think he's been through enough?
Yes, he has. Uh, so we're going to talk about our Fujin journeys in December. Like I said, we'll definitely will have a live. It might be a little bit of a tight timeline, but it's only because I have a convention a week before Christmas.
Woo! Yeah.
If you hear from me a little bit less, it's because I'm feverishly working on cosplay.
I am actually doing a mini con during the holidays, but
That's
that's
so cute.
different. It's
And then
mini.
I need to talk with Corolla about what she wants for Christmas this year.
What?
Yeah.
I bought you a Christmas card. I'm very excited.
Yeah, we're friends. You get gifts.
Yeah, I also use you as my personal mail courier because I can't order things.
It's not like you don't pay for it. It's not like I'm a drug mule where like shit just turns up to my house and I'm being
No,
extorted.
that's the next step. That's what I
Yeah,
do
you
to one of my friends in Japan. I'm like, "Oh, I ordered something to your address. Don't open it. You don't want to know what's in it.
Okay, so I'll
Just send
close
it
things
to me."
out by telling you guys about a time that I did that with my friends. So here in the US, we have the Japanese franchise Kora Revolving Sushi. And like you put the plates in the little thing
Yeah,
and
the
it gives you a
kaisen. Yeah.
treat. Like you're a fucking animal. It gives you a little treat.
Oh my god.
So they did a collaboration with Sanrio, and people close to me, and you guys probably know I'm a huge Sanrio fan. I love Sanrio, love Hello Kitty, love all of that. So Cora did a collab with Sanrio, and I was like, I need this. I don't care how. I need this. We don't have a Cora here in San Antonio. Well, we'll have one early next year, but at the time we do not have one here. We have a bunch back home. So I figured out that I could order just the toys. So I ordered like one of each of all the toys. Agretsuko is very good. Agretsuko is very good. My favorite is Pom Pom
Yeah.
Purin. Purin is my absolute favorite, but Agretsuko is
My
good. So
my
I
favorite
ordered
is Yoshi Kitty, but yeah.
that's so I ordered all of the toys, like one of each. And I remember I messaged my best friend back home and I said, listen, I need you to go to Cora. Here's the address. It's already paid for, but I need you to pick up my toys.
But that's good because you already paid, so they have to do it.
Yeah, right. Like he had no choice. Like this was not a question. This was not, will you please? It's look, it's already done. They're waiting for you. I
Yeah.
just need you to go. And I think I
Do
like
it.
gave him some extra money. It's like, go get yourself lunch. I don't care. But like, I need you to go pick this up for me. I called ahead. They're not gonna think it's crazy. No one's gonna fucking rob someone of their like $30 in toys. It's fine. Like just fucking go. And he's like, okay, sure. So like he goes, has lunch, and he picks up my order. And it's in like a to-go soup bowl. he sends me a message and it's like on his passenger seat. He's like got your nerd shit.
That's cute.
So I'm fine with being your mule. I hope no one
Yes,
heard
thank
that.
you.
So we will see you guys in a few weeks, and as always on
Yeah.
Discord. As I was saying, we are on Patreon. Patreon has some cool ass stuff. Hopefully soon we will have our first bonus episode up there
Yep.
before the end of the month, so we can make sure that our November patrons are satisfied. But yeah, your support monetarily is not mandatory, but it certainly is appreciated. Uh, I mean, we appreciate all of you, realistically.
Yeah. You
Um,
don't have to pay us for us to appreciate you.
yes. My brain had to think about that sentence for a minute. It's like, yes, that is correct.
Every time you say that, I'm like, am I being the weird foreigner? Am I not making
No, you
sense?
were fine. My brain was in like weird
Okay.
capitalism mode where it's like, do we though? We do. I'm kidding. So thank you guys so much for
Calm
being
down,
here.
Toma.
Listen, Pageant
Do
Mom
it.
Toma is my next costume. I will 100% do Pageant Mom
Okay,
Toma.
when you do pageant mom Toma, I'm gonna do the get in the robot Shuichi Reiji that I talked about.
Yes. You know what? You just being here is a fucking contribution.
Yeah.
Don't minimize that you it's been 2 fucking hours. That's
The
a
fact that
lot of
you want to
time.
listen, yeah, that you want
Like
to listen to us for 2 hours,
that's fucking like thank you. Fucking thank you.
that's a
I don't think I
compliment.
could
That's
talk to my
huge.
family for 2 hours like this.
I think after 2 hours is when my family wishes I would just go home already and stop talking. So,
They're
I
just like,
appreciate you.
yeah, y'all enable us to do this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we just be doing this in our own chat on
Yeah,
Discord.
this is essentially what we sound like when we talk outside of episodes. So,
Yes, it's a lot of
yeah.
trading each other memes. But like, no, thank you for being here. We
Yeah.
look forward to hearing from you guys about your Fujin journeys. And
Yeah.
keep an eye out on the store for more merch because it is the holidays and our stuff makes excellent gifts. I'm not just saying that as a capitalist, I'm saying it as the person who designs all the stuff.
Are you gonna put up that thing you were working on before the live as a Christmas merch?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Look forward to this one. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Heartwarming, one might say.
On that note, I announced my resignation from the podcast. It is with that that I
No!
promptly announced. So I resign. Oh nope, Sansa's here, so I can't resign. Oh
This is where you want to resign, and
no, I can't leave you yet.
no, don't leave me. I need you. I don't want to do this alone.
That's actually very sweet. Uh, thank you guys for sticking out with us. We will see you. Is sometime in December. Time is a myth.
I think it's December 5th.
Hold on.
You don't have to check. It's
No,
okay.
no, I'm checking. I'm checking. Fun fact: when I lean over, sometimes my tits will press the space bar. So that's a problem that I have. Is that occasionally my breasts will write messages.
Well, they have talent,
They do have talent. Uh, is it the fifth?
isn't it?
It is the fifth. I'm just an idiot and did.
Yay!
Yes, I did write it down. Okay, so we're in studio next week, and then the week after. Okay, it's in my planner that says emotions are a hell of a drug because I'm a Cancer.
I love it. I'm also Cancer.
Yes, you are. Yeah, it's in my Cancer planner that says emotions are a hell of a drug. That was a gift from a friend. But yeah, cool. It's been fun. It's been a
Yeah.
lovely 2 hours. Um,
And again, thank you to Romance. What is it? Romance is a book.
it is
What is their Instagram handle? It's
at Romance is a book. I believe so. If not on Twitter.
no. I actually think their Instagram handle is different. Anyway, that was a horrible way to shout out to our friends. But yeah, thank you so much for sending us the box because it's wonderful and I love it.
Corolla over here fumbling our shout out like the Cowboys
I
fumble.
Listen, my brain, I had literal brain freeze today, so I'm not functioning very well anymore.
Yeah, it's also been 2 hours. Like, it's
Yeah.
okay. We're
Two
getting
hours of
old.
gravitation.
Yeah, we're getting old. Mom and dad are getting old. We need a nap.
Why am I mom? I don't want to be. But
You've
wait a minute,
always
but
been.
Shuichi is also. Mm, yeah.
Yes! See you guys
Yeah.
next time.
Thank you so
Bye!
much for tuning in. Bye.